Welcome back again. Now let's see the rest of the airplane. I would love to untemplate all of those guys. Just make sure that we got them all named appropriately. Wheel holder R, right? So Shift R. Hello. Okay, probably I'm pressing Control R. Here you go. And engine front, fan holder. This one's gonna be wing top. In fact, this is actually the left, not the right. I believe some of you already noticed that, then they are laughing until I just noticed it. There we go. Now we got the tails, the body, everything is just fine. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let's start, for example, adding the wheels. So I'm gonna actually grab a cylinder, and I will be actually making it facing me, and I will leave it the same poly count as it is, because less than that is gonna be really ugly. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's gonna be a low poly model, yeah, but I didn't want to make it really that very. Not from here. Here's it. Sorry about that. No flashing those stuff. Okay, here we go. In fact, I'm gonna even minimize it more, and you're gonna see why in a second. Encompass that thickness. Now, first of all, I would go, and since I would love to eliminate all the triangles here, I would go and inside here, caps are gonna be 0. I'm gonna actually grab these two faces, shift right click and extrude face, and I'm gonna just minimize it once. Hold on a second. Well, yeah, it's a little bit okay. Halfway, G, and then minimize it one more to the edge, and then G, and then minimize it way down until here, and then boom, delete. Now this has happened because right now I made sure that everything is just quads. Okay, I'll just scale them up again just to see if I'm standing actually perfectly. So great. Now I'm actually gonna grab all these edges, I'm gonna minimize them down a little bit. Oh, sorry, I have to do that from the both sides. Now since it's this actually a wheel, it has to be really roundy. I mean, this is more like a piece of wood, so right now we have to give it much more some sort of really like kind of behavior, if you will. So here we go. I'm gonna actually add 3 edge loops, and in order to make sure the symmetry, let me show you a small other trick that you can add. Make sure that your edge loops are exactly symmetrical. Instead of going to the tool right away, I'm gonna go to the option box, and once I do that, let me just buy more space here, and let me collapse this one as well, and I can insert multiple edge loops, and I would love to insert 3. And I'm gonna click only once, and as you can see I got 3 of them. So I'm gonna close this, W, and right now I'm gonna hit R to scale them up, double click on this one and scale this guy as well up, and we got ourselves a nice rounded kind of wheel. So I'm gonna even scale this a little bit away. Let's see how it's gonna look like in the shade. Well, okay, it doesn't matter, I will just keep it that way. Alright, now since we have this hole, which is good, we can right now look into this. How did I didn't forget anything? Okay, now I'm gonna go and add one more cylinder. In fact, from this side. Oh yes, that's what I was thinking of. Minimize it a little bit down. Now I'm gonna go and add a cylinder. In fact, right now I'm gonna delete the. Oh, let me first try to put it correctly there. Exactly there. I'm gonna actually scale it up. Not that very much, but scale it up. In fact, I'm gonna make it penetrate this piece, so it will behave like the centerpiece, which is holding the wheel. You see, like so. Right now, if I duplicate this, put it there, if we see, oh, I have to align it from the side as well. Let's hope that there are no visible holes. Okay, you see how it looks like? Everything just looks fine. Now I'm gonna have to select this and minimize the number of axes here. So, oh, since I already scaled it, so that's why. You see, this is all awkwardness happened because I scaled it. I shouldn't do that. Okay, let me try to undo all this. Let me try to make this, let's say, F. Let me try to make this, let's say, 10. There you go. In fact, if you really doubt it, nobody actually will notice even what's happening, because, I mean, when this is really positioned far away from you, it's going to be really difficult to tell. Okay, now let me go and start scaling this thing. Not that very much, I'll push it just a little bit here, just to make sure. Okay, duplicate this, put it on the other side. Let's see how it's gonna look like in case that we needed to push it more, we can. Okay, fine by me. Now you see, it's like when you look at it from far, like this position, let's say, you're gonna see it's a little bit far away, you know, so it's roundy and all. Alright, so let's see. This one is gonna be the, like what, wheel holder center, if you will. And I'm gonna add it as well to there. And I have to add, this is like wheel right. Oh, sorry, again. It has to be left. Wheel left. Wheel right. And duplicate this and make sure this is gonna be L. And I'm gonna scale this into -X. And in fact it's positioned quite nicely. There we go. Yeah, just a tad probably. So like upwards a little on the inside. Here we go. Okay, so just to make sure that everything just well hidden, if you will. Alrighty. So this one is correct. Hold RK, right wheel, left wheel, and since everything is just the same, like from this side and this side, I didn't have to rotate the wheel because they are the same from both sides. Okay, let's see. Let's try to select both of those guys. Control D, and this is gonna be R1. This is gonna be R2, and this is gonna be like scaled into -X, and this one as well scaled to -X. Push it. Let's right now consult our front view and see what he says about this. And he says that we have to put it right there and a little bit, yeah. And this guy has to be just pushed a little bit here. As you can see, it's a little bit not that quite accurate, but this is probably due to the blueprint because I have the same exact geometry, so this is for sure due to the blueprint. Okay, we got all this. Let's see, the wheels. I forgot to add those. Add selected objects. So we got this. Got the wheels, engine, tail, wing bottoms, wing tops, plane body, and we have to add this into the wing holder. So wing holders, save this. So So we have this. Alright, let's see what is left to us right now. According to our reference image, we have missing, okay, this one we are missing this one and this thing. And of course I will leave actually this for you if you wanted to add. In fact, I wouldn't add it, of course, in the fan. I wouldn't add it because of the number of polygons. Right now we are, I don't know how much, 2,211 faces. This is, I mean, I really don't want to crank it up anymore. Alright, so let us see. Let's first finish the cockpit front and side here. So I'm gonna go and add a small polyface, polyplane if you will, like so. Put it right there and try to come, yeah, it's here. In fact, I'm gonna R everything, reference everything, so I cannot select anything by accident. That's my objective. Now I'm gonna select this face. Make sure just let me first map it as I want it from the side view, because later on we're gonna map it from the front view. So I'm gonna have this one here, this one mapped here, and this one like so. And as you can see from the side, it is a little bit correct, but from the front, from the top, it's gonna be completely different story. So I'm gonna grab these guys here, grab these two, and push them just right there. Grab this one here, X to snap this thing. And right now I can go further and add insert edge loops. Oh, in fact I had the 3 of them. Okay, before I make any mistakes further, I mean this is good that I got them, but I really don't want to have this anymore. So I'm gonna go to the option box and just hit the reset tool. It resets it actually to the default. Right now I'm gonna select vertices, try to match up with this one. In fact, actually this split polygon tool with the 3 things was actually a very good choice. I mean, it matches perfectly. Okay, this is from the front, or from the top if you will. Now let's see from the side. And since it's a little bit off from the side, you know, just to push it a little bit here, just try to map it out accordingly, and then later on we're going to position it wherever we like. Okay, like so. And these guys has to be mapped correctly. So this is going to be here, this is going to be there, this is going to be right here, probably a little bit up. And if you want to, while we are at it, you can actually insert an edge loop tool, or excuse me, insert an edge. Select all these vertices, hit R to scale it a little bit up to give it more roundedness if you will. I'm gonna give this very much round, but okay, hold on a second, let me leave it as it is. I like it that way. Or, oh no, hold on a second, it doesn't look like the reference images at all. Let me follow the reference images then. Okay, let's see how does it look like from here. Yeah, this one should be a little bit in the back, should it be? Yeah, a little bit down as well. So, in the back. Okay, so we got this. Now we can see what's gonna happen when we try to, oh, before I go at it, I have to snap it exactly, because I'm gonna, yeah, because I'm gonna actually mirror it. So shift right click, mirror polygon to -X. Let's see how many vertices did I select. 1, move it up, 1 and 1. In fact, it's mapped, it's nice mapped, nicely mapped. In fact, I'm gonna push it a little bit to the back just to round it a little bit. Now I'm gonna actually grab all the faces in here, shift right click and extrude a little bit inward to give it more thickness if you will. Yeah, like so. So we got the front. Alright, Control S to save, and let's see, we have to add this part, this how can I say, this part behind this piece, the back of the cockpit. So let me do this first. I'm gonna name this as the cockpit front. Oh boy, hold on a second. Front. I hope that I spelled it right. I will add here, I'm gonna call this as cockpit only, and whatever is going for the cockpit is gonna be put there. So here we go, we got the cockpit. Now I'm gonna come here, let's see how many faces. Okay, 200, 2200. Okay, let's see, this part has to be done, so I'm gonna create in fact a small polygonal cube. I'm gonna move it right there, and in fact I'm gonna move here, as straight as possible. Here we go. I'm gonna add one more edge loop tool to follow this detail. I'm gonna grab the vertices and push it up, and in fact I'm gonna grab the faces, deselect those two because I will select only this piece, and shift right click and extrude face, W, scale down, move downwards, G to repeat the command, W, scale down, move, G to repeat the command, scale down, in fact, move, like so, G, okay, move first, scale down, and move. Opa, hold on. Okay, let me grab the vertices here. Just try to make sure that they are going to be tucked inside the plane. Alright, now this is actually not completely rounded, and I'm going to actually mirror it, so I have to make it as round as possible. Let me see what the top view says about this. In fact, the front view is, well, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to just grab the top view. It's a little bit, if not completely off. So I'm going to grab this X and snap to the grid. Snap to the grid, please. And this one has to be here, here. And in fact, it doesn't matter this piece. I mean, anyway, if you look at it, I mean, when it's going to sink down to the plane body, it's going to be rounded anyway. So in fact, we could, while we are at it, we can actually select all these vertices. Let's say all these edges. I'm going to deselect any edges that could be selected by mistake. Okay, and I just can move it even downwards a little bit, like so. Okay, to make it just a little bit falling. Again, this is more like a personal preference, and that's it. You know, like it's not quite visible here through the image plane. And since we are at it right now, we are already at it. We have actually to follow this, so we'll not have any inner penetration or strange penetrations down in the bottom. Okay. Now, as you can see here, I have to pick up the plane body, stop being a template anymore, and try to sink it down below this back cockpit a little bit, like so. And you're gonna be a little bit down. Grab this one, grab this one, grab this one, and that's it. Probably this. Here we go. Here's the end of it. So I'm gonna just put it down. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab all these faces, and I have to delete them all because they're gonna be a problem when mirroring. In fact, I'm gonna even, you know what, I'm gonna even delete these ones. They are completely not needed, because for mirroring only I'm gonna need, delete this one as well. and you're gonna need only just to complete the faces in the front, and everything gonna be hidden under it. So I really don't need to be how can I say careful about this one. Insert edge loop. I'll hit the R key and just try to scale it up a little bit, just around the things up or upwards like so. Alright, so we got this done. Double click on this thing. Okay, good. Okay, do not double click on anything. Now I have this is there. The front view, excuse me, the top view says the same thing. Probably I have to scale everything down, move it a little bit so I can follow these details. Scale it down even more like so. So X, move this away a little bit, inwards and inwards. X to snap, X to snap, and X to snap here, X to snap there. Fine. Looking at this, we are good to go for a mirror. So select this object, shift right click, mirror polygon to -X, and it did, oh, hold on, it did it successfully. Great. Now I'm gonna grab these, let me first try to make this plain body template so I can see through. In fact, I have to make this a little bit more roundy, so like shift select this one, this one, this one, that one, R away, deselect both, R, not that very much for both sides. Oh, I so that's why it's not working out correctly. Okay, apparently I selected more than, okay, let's see again, here we go. Now R, a little bit more, okay, less, take this out, a little bit more, so it will be not that quite sunken inside, and try to make it as round as possible. So push it up, and pull it up as well, and even probably pull up these guys. And apparently I got the triangles here, which is a bad thing. So in fact I'm gonna delete that edge and delete that edge as well and reconstruct them again. So I'm gonna shift right click, split polygon tool, and complete them to the end. Enter. Y to repeat the tool. You see, I'm clicking and dragging to drag a vertex. Right now, this is actually, this point which you see is a vertex. So I'm dragging it until here to snap until this intersection. So, and enter. Okay, so we got everything quads. Now let me bring back the plane. It is excellent. Okay, we got this. We got this nicely. Let's see. Let's see what is left. What is left is actually the rim around, isn't it? Let me see here. Okay, looking to my reference images and the fan. So the rim and the fan. Alright. Okay, it doesn't matter. I mean, the main thing I got the major shape. It's low poly. Okay, this is called the cockpit back. Cockpit back. And I'm gonna have to add it into the cockpit layer, so we got this. Now I have to select everything. Oh, dereference anything here. So everything is just selected, edit, delete by type, history, and we are good to go. Now, I'm gonna actually, I have really to make the everything just. Because when we're gonna add this kind of surrounding, this kind of rim, if you will, this piece, we're gonna have really to do a small little trick that I'm gonna show you, which is extrude over extrude over a curve, right, and see what's going to happen. Alright, so let me go and grab, okay, I will go to the top view, and I'll go to modify, create, and CV curve tool. Now you have a CV curve, EP curve, Bezier, pencil curve tool, and so on. Please grab one of those two, CV or EP curves. Now the difference between them, CV curve is a stand for control curve tool, okay, and the EP curve is the edit point curve. Now the difference between them is that the CV curve needs at least 3 vertices in order to draw a curve, and the CV curve as well has the property that the points, or these guys are not exactly these vertices are not dead or exactly on the vertices, or exactly the vertices are not actually on the curve. Alright, so this is actually one of the most important property, and in case you made a mistake, you can hit backspace and then draw. You don't need to hit Control Z, so hit just backspace. I'm just gonna try to make this as symmetrical as possible. So this is gonna be right there. Okay. Once you finish drawing your curve, you just hit enter. Okay. Now let's try to modify our curve in order to make it as matching our cockpit here as possible. Alright. So this is the top front piece, like so. Downwards, a little bit outwards. You're gonna be just right there and here. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the side view, and apparently I got my trying to get the object mode, and let me first modify pivot and center pivot, so I can center the pivot here. Okay, now as you can see here, control vertex, hull, curve point. This is actually right now I'm modifying what you see right now is a modification of or the components of NURBS. Right now I'm working with a NURBS surface. Alright, so this is why it's a little bit different properties and different components you see right now. But in general, this curve will help us follow. As you can see here, I'm trying just to follow this part, this piece, and that's it. Later on, you're gonna see even one of the most beautiful applications of history, where we don't need actually to delete the history right away, because we're gonna need it in a second, and you're gonna see why. Now I'm gonna grab the cylinder. In fact, I'm gonna just draw a cylinder here. I'm gonna pull it up and push it right there. I'm going to rotate it around the Z-axis by 90 degrees. No, sorry, the X-axis by 90 degrees. I'm doing this because I am trying to get the thickness of this rim here. You see, I'm just going to try to match the thickness here, so like so. Okay, this is the thickness which I need. A second thing, excuse me, I have to minimize the number of these guys. So I'm gonna first, in order to extrude around the curve, you first of all have to extrude only one singular face. In this case, I'm gonna extrude only this side, so I'm deleting the caps. The second thing, I need to minimize this number, so probably I'm gonna grab and say 10. Yeah, from the far away, it doesn't seem that's suspicious. If you wanted to, you can add a little bit more to it, like 15, and this is even too much. Let's see, 12. Okay, that's quite enough. Now I will grab this and rotate this 90 degrees. Now one of the properties, let me template this. One of the properties of the curves, if you didn't notice yet, let me first just position this thing. First of all, when you extrude on a curve, extrude the face on a curve, you have to put your face dead on in the exact same direction as the curve. Okay, this is the first thing. A second thing, you have to put the face which you want to extrude facing the beginning of the curve. Alright, so if I select this curve and control vertex, you see this is a square and this is U, and later on you get the normal vertex. That means the square and then the U, it means that the curve going that direction. Alright, so the curve goes to this direction. So this is actually the beginning of the curve. So you have to follow the direction of the curve. Now if I select the face, shift select the curve, and then shift right click and extrude face. Now by default, the face just snaps to the end. Okay, so it went all the way back and snaps here. And since there are no divisions to describe such a thing, it just, you see, such an awkward interaction. Now in order to add the divisions, you have to go in the history part and add the divisions. Let's say like so. By the way, I'm middle click and dragging. Okay, so right now we have 25 divisions. If I wanted to, I can increase to 35 to make it much more smooth. Now here's the coolest thing about the history. You can right now go to object mode. Let us grab we need to grab the EP curve, but before I do that, you know what, I'm gonna just hit R. I'm gonna grab this thing and I'm gonna call add to certain objects, so I don't select it anymore. Right now you see I'm selecting only the curve, so I go control vertex, and this is because the history is on. You see I can actually start modifying my geometry in a very cool way. Now the coolest thing about it is that right now I can fill in the deficiencies in my cockpit here. So I'm gonna place it down, place this a little bit. Oops, there's somebody should be here. Yeah, okay, here. This one should be down, and here this guy has to be a little bit in the back and a little bit up, probably more down. You see I'm trying to fill in the holes, tuck it just in so nobody can see what's going on in here. Okay, upwards a little bit, down, grab somebody should be here, down. Oops, probably I grabbed somebody else. Yeah, in fact, okay, let me try to fill in these spaces here. Upwards, probably this one has to be upwards as well. Upwards, oh, who's there? Okay, apparently, let me see, R, template, okay. Apparently I have to grab this from the vertex, so let me grab this, push it here. I'll hit R again for referencing. Well, apparently the wings are standing in the way, so wing top is going to be a template. Here we go. Okay, this is filled in. These spaces has to be filled in as well, like so. Okay, no spaces in here. Let me make sure that this is already tucked in. Let me deselect. Select anybody here. Trying to control vertex. Hold on. Okay, this is the curve, control vertex, and can I select anything? Oh man. I am still. Hold on a second. Okay, this is the curve, control vertex, and select. Okay, here we go. Select. There should be somebody here. Okay. Anyway, I mean it's matching correctly. Okay, so this is good, this is good. This is fine. This is fine. Alright, so we got all the... No, hold on a second. I got to dereference that and try to push the vertices inwards and these ones upward and inward. So right now everything is just hidden and nicely looking. Alright, so as for this one, okay, hold on a second, let me try to select reference again, please. Select the curve, edit points, and push it just up and back a little bit. Just perfect. Okay, that's nice. Now I'm gonna just save this. Now I'm gonna go for object mode, select this curve. I mean, I could actually even select this thing, edit delete by type history, and once I do that, watch this, shift and drag to invert the selection, and when I hit W, I will move up my curve, and you can see if I move anything, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it doesn't affect my polygon anymore because my history has been deleted. So I'm gonna grab this, delete it, and reference it again. Try to make this as a reference again. So let's see. Let me save this again. Control S. Well, yes. What is left for us is the front part. So let me get rid of that real quick here. So this one. Let me see. In order to make this correctly. Oh, I forgot actually to delete this one. And by the way, let's see if this is for. Oh, we didn't forget. We also forgot to delete this, and also forgot to delete that. What a view from inside. Anyway, so let us see what we can do here. Let me consult my reference images here. There we go. And apparently it goes from here. This one is a little bit different. This one as well tells a different story. This one as well. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna try to match this. So let's see how we can do this. This is the fan holder, this is the engine front. Okay, in fact, let me see. What if I let me make something a little bit fancy. So I'm gonna grab a cylinder, and I'll add just a minor detail, useless detail with, yes, I'm gonna have a little bit more polygons, but it could be nice. I'm gonna rotate this around the let me see which axis, x-axis, by 90 degrees. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna even scale it down. Let me try to position it somewhere meaningful. Excuse me. Okay, let me grab this cylinder. There we go. In fact, I'm gonna grab these two faces, extrude face, scale them way down, and delete them. I'm gonna just push them right there. Push them right here. Let's see if I push this one here. I'm gonna just try to center everything. So in fact, I'm gonna even minimize it to make it as much as like standing behind the engine here. Okay, so almost the same size. Okay, cool. Now, like this. Now for this little guy, I could, okay, let me even scale this up a little bit. Okay, so this one is a separate piece, this is a separate piece. Now, let me try to test something here. What if I just select these two and try to hunt the opposite side? So I believe the opposite side should be, no, this. Yes, this is actually the opposite side. So in fact, I could go and shift right click and extrude edge, or extrude face, excuse me. Try to extrude those. Oh well, okay, let me try to grab the world coordinates here. Try to make that as parallel as possible. Let me see. Let me try to grab these guys as well. What happens if I extrude face? Push it in the back as well. Okay, hold on. I have already, since we have already this diameter thing, if I'm scale it down, okay, hold on a sec, let me undo this. So I'm gonna, if I grab this, I believe I have only one vertex. Okay, if I grab this straight line to the diameter which is already presented here, so we are talking about somewhere here, and this one somewhere there, straight line just, we got ourselves, I mean, one is a little bit longer than the other probably, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I can duplicate this. Okay, here we go. So this is like, okay, so this is it. Now what if we try to rotate these guys? So E, rotate like, rotate like this, and like this. So we got something like a twist. So we twisted it. Okay, this is one. What if we go and add one more edge loop and try to hold the detail and try to make it a little bit, more roundy, if you will, by dragging this up and this up, and even scale it a little bit. So I grab this, scale it a little bit like this, so it's going to be a little bit thicker, and probably even rotate this. So it's going to be like, yeah. Probably I'll push this a little bit down. This with it as well. And let's see. What happens if I smooth this? Oh, it looks nice, not bad. After smoothing it out, it looks not bad at all. The only thing is, I have just to grab this and just make it right there. Probably I will scale this even down a bit, since we're gonna only see the low poly version, so we have to make it a little bit swallowable, if you will. Now, of course, I have to do the same thing for this one, but I'm gonna show you a small trick here. I'm gonna actually delete those. So you see, I got a hole in there. But before I do that, I have really to perfect this one, because I'm gonna reuse this. So let me see, how can I perfect it? I don't know. I'm gonna try to make it as thinner as possible, probably. Let's say like so. Like so. And then push it a little bit further and a little bit upwards. Trying to make these smaller probably as well. Grab this and make this a little bit smaller probably, or thicker, I don't know. Let's see, bigger. The main thing, I just wanted to get this this kind of twisting, or like kind of rotation that goes around. So I'm going to grab this one and just push it in there, or this one in there, and probably push this one upwards, push this one inwards and upwards. Okay, now we got something. Okay, we can use this. Almost, we can use this. Okay, this is great. After smoothing everything out and after doing everything, okay, let me grab this and shift right click and duplicate the face. Now if I move this into the world coordinates like so, see, here is it. Oh, excuse me, let me try to, okay, let me try to grab this again, extrude, duplicate face. Just, hold on, try just to move it. Oh, hold on a second, somewhere else. World coordinates. I'm gonna rotate this. I'm gonna have to rotate this like around the Z by 180 degrees. And probably move it to its place. Now it has to be really, I'm gonna have to really try to put it in a very perfect position, so I have really to try this. Let me try to modify a center pivot so I can grab it have a better grab of it. Okay, let me do it like so. I'm gonna push it away, downwards. Alright, now I'm gonna make it as close as possible so I can use it. Now you see, I got those. Let's see a preview here. Exactly dead on. Not exactly dead on. Am I not in the center? Probably. Oh yes, I wasn't in the center, in fact. But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna scale them up and try to move them away and give them their appropriate position later. Okay, but the main thing that they are actually on the same size. So anyway, I'm gonna grab right now these two guys. We have to merge the vertices, so I'm gonna grab this one, shift click this one, combine, and grab the vertices and start merging. So right click, like shift right click and drag upwards. So merge vertices, merge vertices. I hope that I didn't forget any of them. I believe this should be 1, 1, 1, 1. It's 1, and this one is 1. Okay, great. Excellent. Now I can move this guy. Oh, I have to center the pivot again, because apparently right now we got a new object. So center pivot, and this is going to be calling a fan. And if we go to the engine, you see it's hidden, but it's not going with it. So I have really to put, okay, so put this in the back, assemble this with this one. Okay, now let's see what's happening on the diameter stuff here. Okay, let's try then to push this guy a little bit here to make it matching with this one, and that's pretty much it. Looking to this, smoothing it out, 3. Okay, it looks nice, not bad. Alright, so Control S again. So looking to this plane, we got everything which we need in here. First of all, before I forget, this is the fan, and this cylinder gonna be like the fan holder. Oh, apparently the fan holder won't exist. Who is the fan holder, I wonder? Yep, apparently there's a fan holder, and I really don't know who is he. So let me try to unreference everything. Okay, this was on the fan holder. Okay, let me select everything, edit, delete by type history, and I believe once the history is gone, probably the fan holder will be, yes, because this one actually was skipped in the history as fan holder, this centerpiece only, and after I begin extrusion and all, it's still, there's a node called fan holder in the tree of histories. Alright, so we got this fan holder, this fan. Okay, final check. Check. Okay, we got almost every detail of the airplane. We got, I believe so, at least I believe so. Okay, great, this is great. Now we got all the airplane assembled together. Now this is a good time to start texturing it. Alright, so see you on the texturing part.